We are live. My name is Anthony Parker. The music that you hear in the background has been provided by my man, Jeff Wayne. He's an aspiring young artist, amongst other things. He does tattoos and stuff like that. And he sent me this track, and he wants me, and I decided to put it behind me and see what it does. I like the track. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna be talking about games, video games for the blind. I don't play games. I tried to play with my son, and he just enjoys the fact that he loves father and daughter. I mean, father and son time. I am tripping. But anyway, let me get on to this thing because mine is somewhere else, and I'm going to enjoy this video, and I know my guest who's going to bring me the information that he has put together will be doing so as well. So, in the meantime, in between time, welcome to Third Eye Visions, where we motivate the blind. I'm still thinking about the other stuff. Stimulate your mind and welcome all kinds. Today's topic: a Facebook group that focuses on providing game reviews on accessibility games for the blind. Please continue to subscribe, hit that notification bell, like, comment, and most of all, share, because that's the only way that we can get this information out, right, Aaron?
Absolutely.
Got to share it. Got to share it. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. Aaron, today he will discuss his reason for creating this group. It's very commendable of him to do so because it's a needed gesture. Because even though we are visually impaired, like some of us do enjoy playing video games. So with that being said, I'm going to turn the show over to my man Aaron. Take your time, baby. This is your show, and talk to us about who you are, where you're from, what you do, why you created this. I understand why, but I want the people to know because after this, you will definitely be a part of this group if you subscribe to it on Facebook and know where you can find accessible games and what have you. So, Aaron, go ahead.
All right. Well, thank you for having me. Like you said, this is me getting out and sharing things that I've learned with the blind and visually impaired community. So, I've been a lifelong lover of games, dating myself a little bit. It goes all the way back for me to the Atari 2600.
Ooh.
I played, games like Kaboom and Pitfall and Adventures.
Space Invaders.
Yeah, Space Invaders, exactly. So, it's gaming has just been a nice distraction. When some people sit down and they curl up with a good book, I would curl up with a good video game and just let the cares of the world and the cares of the day just kind of waft away and let me just get lost in something relaxing. So I had spent my whole life playing video games on all the different console systems, on computers, PC games as well, and just was a lover of games. And what happened was, I'm 46 right now. 2 years ago, I lost my sight in a kind of a freak accident. And, kind of coming out of recovering from that, I said, well, I still need that distraction in my life. I still have this love of games and I need something, have more things to just, where I want distractions than fewer. And I went looking for games to play as a blind person and, was finding it first really difficult to find games that were accessible. You download a game and find it was only partially accessible, or you get to a certain point and then there'd be a game stopping thing where something wasn't accessible and you couldn't really play anymore. Or I'd find games that were accessible and they were just so dumbed down that they might as well have been for a toddler. And I'm a 46-year-old man, so I just wasn't finding compelling games to play, and so I was kind of getting sad and a little depressed about that. And, I really just kind of scoured the internet and, searched all sorts of boards. And anytime anybody mentioned a game that they played, I went out and bought it and played it. And I then kind of started saying, all right, well, this was so difficult for me to find. And when I come across a good game, I'm going to share it with people and let people know, hey, here's a good game and it's worth playing as a blind or a visually impaired person. And so I kind of started posting out on a whole bunch of different blind websites, or face group pages, ones that were for blind gamers or accessible games for the blind and visually impaired. Those are some Facebook group pages. I just started posting out my reviews there. And after having about 15 posts out there on different Facebook pages, I just said to myself, well, how are people going to find these? They're kind of now in the mass of 1,000 different posts, and how would they, see the full list that I'm compiling here? So I decided to create my own Facebook page where, someone can go in and they can see the full list, right up in the, the top header announcement. It'll have, the full list of reviews that are out there. And, there's now, I think, 21 game reviews of accessible games that you can play. And after creating the Facebook page, I started actually reaching out to game developers of these games that I reviewed and started asking them, how did you create an accessible game, and what was hard about it, and why did you do it in the first place? How did you find out that there was a need for accessibility in games? And so started interviewing them and posting those interviews out on the Facebook page as well, just to give, besides game reviews, more content to the blind and visually impaired about, the games that they're playing. And really, trying to encourage the community that's joined the Facebook page, to engage in conversation about games, and, let me know about the games that you've played and enjoyed, so that everybody on the group can, go out and buy that game and enjoy another fun game to play. I really have tried to cover a wide variety of games out on the Facebook page. The 21 reviews, there's word games and dice games and strategy games and text adventure games and 3D audio games. So really kind of have tried to mix it up, because, not everybody likes the same type of game. So I want to really hit all the different genres so that there is a game for, every single person that joins that Facebook page that they can go play.
Okay, I had to check something. I got sidetracked for a second. I think I was messing with a little insight. So, before we go any further, tell, and you probably did, because I'm probably doing something. How did you actually lose your sight, Aaron?
So it was kind of a freak accident. I was on my 20th anniversary with my wife down in Cancun. And we went down to the beach and check out the ocean and the sand. And a gust of wind blew up and blew sand into my eyes. And that sand had a very virulent bacteria on it that infected my eyes, and landed me back in the United States in the intensive care unit for about a month, while they kind of fought the infection. And kind of by the time they, tapped down the infection a month later, it just had kind of ravaged my eyes to really the point of not seeing anymore. So I have kind of light perception. I can kind of see some light and dark contrast, but that's about it. So going from fully sighted to fully blind in, kind of a blink of an eye, really.
Right. Wow. And you, again, you had been, prior to that, you have been playing a lot of the video games, as you mentioned, right?
Yeah, a big PlayStation person. That was my console. I had an Xbox as well, but I spent the majority of my time playing games on PlayStation. Loving games like, really into like strategy games, and then role playing games like The Witcher and Fallout, and those type of games. Really
now the games that you do, the games that you do review, they're mostly on iPhone, or they're on Xbox,
yeah.
or what consoles are they?
No,
talk to them.
It's really focused on games that are accessible to play on your iPhone. So that's where I kind of focus my niche, if you will, of just saying, all right, here's games that are right there. As a blind person, you carry your phone everywhere you go. It's always with you. So I wanted to say, where's system that you can access at any time and play a game, whether it be for hours or 5 minutes. There's a game that I've reviewed that'll fit hopefully everybody's interest and time allotment that they have to play a game.
Okay. Now, before we move any further, let me put in the comments the name of your Facebook group right quick.
Okay, so
Right.
I have never started a Facebook group page, so it's probably like the worst name ever because it's not like catchy or anything. I was just thinking of kind of keywords that people would search. So it's
Mhm.
Apple, iPhone,
Wait 1 second.
iOS, VoiceOver.
Apple. Okay. Apple. All together.
Apple, iPhone, iOS.
Okay.
Oh no, it's separate words.
Apple.
So Apple,
I.
iPhone, iOS, and then VoiceOver as iOS.
I.
VoiceOver as one word.
Capital letters. All capital.
The I is lowercase, the O and the
Okay.
S are capital.
OS. Okay.
And then
And then-
VoiceOver as one word.
Okay.
And then compatible.
Compatible. Compatible. Okay.
And then games.
Let me get it right. Okay. Apple, iPhone, iOS. Okay. Games. Okay.
VoiceOver.
Now, games. Okay. Okay. Now, tell us some of the games that you reviewed, why you like them, and what you enjoy about playing these particular games.
Yeah, sure. So, like I said, I've tried to cover a lot of different genres. So, the very first game review I did was one called A Dark Room, which is kind of a combination resource manager, strategy, role-playing game. Really, really kind of unique game, and it's actually what got me on the kick to, say that, hey, look, there are some really enjoyable games that are worth playing as a blind person. So that kind of really started off this whole process for me. That game, A Dark Room, really interesting. It starts really small, where you're just doing one or two things, and then over time, it keeps opening up branches of things to do and explore. It has kind of a underlying. Really kind of scratched all the itches for me of type of games I like: strategy games, resource management games, role playing games. Kind of met them all. So that was my very first game review. But since then, I've done different word puzzle games. Things like 7 Little Words or Ordit, 3D audio games like A Blind Drive, A Detective's Demise, A Blind Legend. Some of those auditory 3D audio games. Kind of puzzle games and memory games. There's one called that I'm reviewing right now, which is How to Do It Right, which is kind of an interesting, almost like a Simon. If you know the game Simon, it's kind of like a souped up Simon game. And I really try to not just do games that I like, I should say games that I would genres that I would naturally gravitate to just from my taste, but really try just a lot of different things. Word games are not usually my cup. It's not what I would go to first, but I know lots of people like word games, so I make sure to go out and do those. I wanted to have people have more than. I was going to say that whenever you ask a blind person, at least I found, what games do you play? It's always Dice World, and I wanted people to know that there's more than Dice World out there. Dice World's a great game. It's fun, but there's more out there for us than just Dice World.
I hear that. Aaron is telling you he is a reviewer of a lot of games. So Dice World is not the only game that you can play. How often do you review? When do you review? And what determines what games you think that blind people would like to play?
Yeah. So what I try to do is, I'm trying to really stick to this, is every Sunday and Wednesday I release a game review. So twice a week, you're going to get, if you go out and join that group, you'll see a game review. And the game review is, kind of has 3 components. It tells you, one, just what is this game, and kind of a summary of the game. It tells you, what I liked or didn't like about it. So giving you kind of a score, and and it's kind of a letter score, A+ down to F. And then it also tells you, tips and tricks about using the voiceover feature to navigate the game. So here's some things that tripped me up a little bit, or I struggled with a little bit, but let me just give you, this is how you do it to make your life easier as you play the game. So giving you the tips and tricks, if you will, about playing the game as well. So they're pretty lengthy reviews, to read through. In the review, there's a link right to the game on the U.S. Apple iStore. So all you have to do is press the link, and there you are. You're ready to get the game. So I try to make it really, really easy for people to find the game. And then another day, usually Friday, I try to post like an interview or some other piece of interesting content to the group. So from my standpoint, three content-rich pieces a week. Sometimes little intermissed questions in there, like what's your favorite game, or what game are you playing right now? Some of those, just to try to prod and prompt the community to start talking about games, because again, I think we don't talk enough about what we're playing and what we're enjoying, so that other people can learn about what we're playing and what we're enjoying.
Sure. Now, how effective has this group been?
Like I said, I've never done a Facebook page before, but we've been, I started about 3 weeks ago, and we're up to 165 members. So
that's good. That's good.
Yeah, I feel like we're getting 5 or 6 a day, which seems pretty good to me. And I just I try to get out there and let people know it's out there, and I hope that people have joined, tell their friends about it, so other people join, and hope here as I talk to you, your community decides to join and share it with their friends, and just get everybody start talking and engaging.
Okay. Now, what have there been any requests for any particular games to review, or what has been the most asked question? Tell us about that aspect.
Yeah, some people have been asking for games, and I've been, I take it on myself to try to be the one who tries to, spearhead and get answers to people as well. So, people are looking, kind of the most elusive one is people who are looking for like hunting and fishing games, like, like the bass fishing games, or the Cabela's hunting games. And I've been kind of reaching out, trying to find, there's a whole bunch of Facebook iOS developer pages as well. I've been trying to query that out, but that's been the hardest one that I've been trying to track down for people that I haven't found necessarily a great answer. There's some on Audio Hub. There is some kind of a dumbed down hunting game, but that's not quite what the person was looking for. But those are the ones that are eluding me. So, if anybody in your community has played a great hunting or fishing game as a blind or visually impaired person, please let us know, because we're trying to get those answers for our community members.
And the thing about it, and I may be putting the cart before the horse, you don't get paid for these reviews because you enjoy video games, right?
No, yeah. A lot of these games, something like a Dark Room, I think, came out like 7 years ago. I'm just doing them as games I find and I play and enjoy.
Cool.
Put a review out. I do try to, all the games that I've played, I have tried to track down the developers' or contact information to just say, hey, look, I played your game and thought it was great, and I would like to talk to you about, how you created it and how you made it accessible. And I've gotten pretty good. I've posted out 3 of those interviews currently, and I have about 7 that I've already got answers back, and I'll be posting over the next few weeks.
Wow.
So, pretty good. About half of the games I've reviewed, I've gotten to the developer to give me an interview. Hopefully, I can keep that track record going.
Now, are these games only being played, or you do only review for Apple or Android as well?
I just do Apple because that's what I have, and I have an Apple iPhone. I mean, I think a lot of the games are available on both. So hopefully, an Android person who joins my group, can find that on the Google Store as well. But I'm not, I've never used the Google, what's it called, TalkBack. I haven't used that before, but my understanding is they're pretty similar to the VoiceOver, kind of the same mechanisms and mechanics to make them both work. So hopefully, an Android person can, find my review, see it's a good game, and give it a try, and hopefully it'll work as well as it works on the iOS on the iPhone.
Well, we're not about to leave yet, because I have a few more people that has just joined. Tell them again the name of your group. It's in the I'm gonna put it in the description, but tell them, and again how they can find you and what have you.
Sure. So, the group is called Gaming with Geeks. So, Gaming with Geeks. So, Gaming with Geeks. So, Gaming with Geeks. So, So it is Apple, iPhone, iOS, VoiceOver, which is one word, compatible games. So,
Okay, so if y'all have a lot of time on your hand, or have a little time, go ahead. If you have a little time on your hand, definitely y'all can check him out. So what's coming up next? I was telling the audience, if they have a little time on their hand, they definitely can check out this this Facebook group. What's coming up next? Any reviews that you have that you're looking forward to check out? And how do you go by? Okay, I think you may have, but I'm asking you, how do you go by picking out, say for instance, what games that you think a lot of blind people would like? I mean, tell them that.
Yeah. So to answer your second question first, I just kind of, scour a lot of, Facebook group pages and, internet posts, articles, just trying to find any accessible game to start with. Then I play the game, and decide whether it's, a game worth reviewing and worth, mentioning out to other people. And I try to, my kind of one of my main first interests is, let me see a game that is in a genre that I haven't reviewed before. I could, spend the next 10 years reviewing text adventure games, but I think that would get kind of boring for the community. So, I'm looking for, my next one is one I've never played. It's a casino, slot game called Westopia, which is kind of an interesting, you play on different slot machines and, oh, sorry, that's my, telling my kids to go to school. So sorry about that. So it's a game where you play on a slot machine and yet build a kind of old town as you build it. So as you kind of score and hit the jackpot, it gives you money to then build the next building that has a different type of slot machine. So it had kind of a different little storyline, if you will, that went to it. So kind of a unique little game and nothing I had ever played before, and thought I'd give it a try and share it out with other people. My next interview, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to commend you on what you're doing. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then the next interview that I have out, I think is going to be this one called Medieval Fantasy RPG, which is a game I reviewed a while ago, but I got a conversation with the developer, and they gave me an interview of how they played the game, or how they made the game accessible. So that's probably going to be the next interview that I release, which will be next week.
Okay. Well, man, as I was stating earlier, this is time consuming. I know it is, but this is needed because, as I mentioned, there are a lot of individuals who are visually impaired play video games. Just because we are visually impaired doesn't mean that we don't have the love for games, and I commend you for creating something like this, man. As the music come on, man. I want to thank you for coming on the show, man. You have any last minute words you want to say, man? But before you do that, I want to thank the audience for participating, and definitely go check out his Facebook group. I'm going to put it in the description where you can find the information, and make sure you click on that group if you are a game lover, and check out some of the stuff that he has put together on his own. Not because he was forced to do so or he's getting paid on it, because he loves it and he wants the blind community to know what's out there. Go ahead.
Yes, same thing. I just want everybody to have a chance to play some good games. Find games that they love and can enjoy and distract themselves. And join the group and and engage. Tell us the games that you love. Comment on the posts, comment on the reviews. I think the more we're talking, the more we'll all be able to share some great games and some great experiences that we've had together.
Well, thank you, Aaron, man. Anytime you want to come on, hopefully we'll set it up to where you can actually play a particular game online while we or live, but we'll work that out. But in the meantime, man, if I can do anything else to help you out, man, to get this word out, just let me know, bro.
Yeah, I'll email you the direct link to the Face group if that makes it easier for your
That'll work.
viewer.
That'll work.
Yeah.
That'll work. And this is your home, man. So whenever you're ready to come back on with some more information, you hit me up.
All right, excellent. Thank you for having me.
Thank y'all so much. Thank you again for viewing Third Eye Visions, man. I hope y'all have a nice Memorial Day, Monday. Enjoy your weekend. I'm celebrating mine with my little boy, and his birthday is on the 30th. And my frat brother, Dedrick Hamilton, his birthday's tomorrow. So I want y'all to be careful and enjoy you all barbecues, whatever y'all plan on doing, and continue to support Third Eye Visions, man. I appreciate it. I'm seeing the love that has transpired. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We had to work through it, but we got through it, and I want to thank Aaron for creating this Facebook group for individuals who love games and things of that nature. Thanks for Danny. Thanks, Tim, and all you others who have come on and supported. And my man, Jeff Wayne, I want to thank him for allowing me to use the track. Y'all let me know what you think about it. So with that being said, y'all, I am I out? Yeah.